It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to inspire. Our mission is to empower. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Lisa Brooks. And we'll be talking about how to have more time in your day. I know. It's an oxymoron, but we're going to figure it out in a moment. What's going on, Lisa? How are you?
It's Lori, Shay.
Oh, Lori. Oh, my gosh. I know I should have put these back
It's
on.
okay.
I've been
It's
resisting them. My
okay.
wife tells me, stop resisting it.
I've been Lois today. I've been Laura today. Don't you worry. I will reply.
No.
I know who
Her
we're
name is
talking about.
Lori Brooks.
Excellent. Oh, Shay, it's a pleasure to be here. And I thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, thank you. I know we had a chance to meet at Ramon's event. What a credible human being he is and a collaborator. And I know you said he was
That
talking to
he
Porsche.
is.
Shout out to Porsche. I gave you a shout out, young lady. I gave you a shout out because she's super amazing. The audience is looking and they're saying create more time. And they're like, okay, Shay, is this another gimmick? Is this another hook? Is this a clickbait thing? So let me ask the question if I can. Why do people struggle today with having time to do the things they really want to do? They have a desire to do it. They have the best intentions to do it, but they always say, I just didn't have enough time. Why do they struggle with time management? Is that even a thing anymore?
That truly is. And that truly is the headache. It's the one thing that's never on anybody's to-do list is to really focus on how they're managing their time. So it's truly about the way you go about implementing throughout the day. It's the way that you're focusing and the way that you're prioritizing. And more time, when we say more time, it doesn't mean that we're creating more hours in the day. As much as we all wish we could, that's not the case. We can utilize our time in a manner that can propel us forward far faster than we are capable of implementing on a day to day without the focus.
Mm. About the folks. Now, I hear folks at home there, wherever they're watching and listening, saying, Shay, you gotta let her know that we, or at least a lot of the audience, they're dualpreneurs. Let her know that so she
Mhm.
understands we ain't just playing around. They got full-time jobs and they are full-time entrepreneur. Some of them are married, so they have a husband or a wife or a significant other, or they're a caregiver. Some of them have kids. They want you to know this, so you're aware of who you're talking to. But they have kids, and their kids have schedules. They also are
Mhm.
leaders in their community or in other activities. They're like, well, what does she say to me, who's already doing a whole lot? Okay, and I get what she's saying, but yet I want more time. Although I have
Mhm.
all this stuff going on, how do I balance it all?
Well, that's the trick. It's a matter of figuring out where the focus needs to be. So, again, so I myself am a wife. I am a mom. My daughter actually I am a proud mother of a college grad at this point. She just graduated last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So I truly understand the struggle of the juggle. I truly do. And for quite some time there, I myself was stuck in what I call wino mode, where you're working in, not on your business. So what I help people do is really move into boss mode where we're building out those operations to support their success so that we are mastering their day, not just moving through it. So, More Time, my program stands for mindset transformation, operations implementation, realistically mapping it out so you can execute and expand. What we do is we go through the mindset transformation program that I personally developed, which allows for them to seamlessly integrate the mindset transformation that they need throughout the day. We then really master the operations, which is cleaning up their IGAs, really making sure that the systems that they have that are generating the income for them are operating smoothly. Then we move through really mapping out long term. What is that end goal? What does it look like? What is it we're trying to accomplish? and then really putting the tools, team, and tech into place to actually make that goal a reality.
Mm. Making the goal a reality, which can be very, very, very difficult. As you were speaking now, I guess one of the things that come top of mind to me before we get to a little more about time. Are you into time apps? Are you into them using software to measure what they're doing as
Mhm.
well? Or are you more of a pen and paper type of person? And I'm guilty, ladies and gentlemen. I have a bunch of apps, whether it's Trello and I got so many different apps on the phone. And yet I still myself also struggle with time management, time choices, whatever you want to call it. I always say I got to choose what I'm going to do with my time. But in all seriousness, what do you recommend? Should people be
I'm
using
glad
paper
you
and
brought
pen,
that
or would
up.
you say if they automate it and put it into software or onto their phone, are more likely to track it? I'm just curious.
So, first, what I'll address is A, it doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's truly about my clients and what works for them. And that's kind of the sticking point that I see with a lot of different coaches and consultants. They have a specific tool that they're excited to introduce to their clients. But if that tool doesn't work for that person, it's not going to work for their business. It's just going to become digital clutter, which is the second thing that I wanted to address. And I appreciate you bringing that up because there's a lot of people that have massive amounts of apps in their phone. Shay, when's the last time you took a moment to look through your phone and delete the apps that you don't use,
I'm
to
guilty, and I have one
organize the
terabyte of
apps
memory,
that
and
you
I
do
don't even look at
use?
it. Guilty. I'm guilty. I bought
When's the
more
last time?
memory for my current iPhone just for that purpose, in case I forgot about one of the apps that I don't get to, probably on page 95 of scrolling through. So I got one
Oh,
terabyte of
goodness.
memory for that reason. I know, guilty.
Listen, my terabytes kept climbing. That's why I had to start doing some digital, deletions. It became obscene the amount of data that I was collecting over the years between myself, my husband, our daughter. The amount of digital data that everybody creates on a daily basis, an hourly basis at this point in time, is massive. It's massive, and it in and of itself can create clutter, not just in your phone, but in your brain, as you mentioned. So if you're spending 5, 10 minutes throughout the day, not necessarily all at once, but think about it, Shay. If you're spending 5 minutes looking for the app that you need to use, you just wasted that 5 or 10 minutes. How do you reclaim those? Getting
You don't.
organized. Exactly. You can't reclaim the ones that are gone, but you can avoid losing more in the future by getting organized today. So it's taking the time to truly get organized to figure out what it is you need to focus on. The tools, the team, the tech that are going to actually allow you to focus and drive you towards the end goal that we've designed.
As we're listening right now, this is so important because I heard, and I don't know who said it, but we can always make more money, but we can't make more time. So it's one of the most precious resources we have. And we're having a discussion around about how you can have more time to do more of the things that you really, really want to do. Isn't that kind of cool? They're curious now. Now everybody's read your bio. They're like, Shay, I didn't even get a chance to read the bio. Okay. Somebody's listening to you in the podcast right now, maybe while they're working out. Someone's in the kitchen. Some of you have it just playing in the background right now, and you're listening, and you're like eavesdropping, like, yeah, I'm doing something, but I do need more time. But who is Lori? So you know the question: who are you? What's the backstory? And then what was that defining moment, ladies and gentlemen? She can handle a three-part question. What was that defining moment that led you to being so all in to help people in designing a program called More Time?
So again, thank you for the welcome. And truly, I by day serve as a fractional COO for financial advisors. So I help financial advisors maneuver throughout their day in a seamless manner, providing them with more time for the things that they love, as you mentioned, Shay. That's truly what I do. I am also host and producer of my own television show, an author, a blogger, web designer and many, many other things amongst being a mother and a wife and a sister and an aunt. And at one point, we even fostered two children. So when it comes to understanding that there is a need to master time, it's something that was driven by a personal desire to be capable of. Years ago in 2009, I was actually licensed life accident and health in the financial services industry. And I was then diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And that was the moment that I recognized corporate umbrellas being over my head, someone else telling me when I could or could not be on site or attend X, Y, and Z was not going to work for me, especially with a young child in the house. At the time, my daughter was about 8 years old when I was diagnosed, and I was a single parent at that point in my life. And so the need to be capable of managing the household with a chronic illness, with a young child, and still have an income being generated is where the initiation of the consulting started. From there, the drive for building out more time came from what I was doing with my clients, what I was witnessing them struggling with throughout the day, what I could see I myself needed assistance with tweaking, changing, or remastering in any way that was going to allow me to move forward. I would say that the true birthing moment of the program was the recognition that I wanted the opportunity to foster two children. Um, but in order to do so, I personally would need to clear out massive amounts of my own schedule to fulfill that opportunity for myself. So I built out multiple different ways and tools that I was already utilizing with my clients in order to be able to fulfill that goal for myself. We did an entire year of the fostering and enjoyed that time with the kids. And then I went back to my practice. But in order to do that, I needed to find a way to make the program master itself. So that's where more time came from.
I love it. Thanks for being transparent. Thanks for sharing the backstory. If you had to share three mindsets that someone should have around just time and having more time, what would the three mindsets? And the reason I'm starting there, ladies and gentlemen, is for some is just a belief as she's talking. Some of you are like, I don't know if it's even possible. And here's what I want you to know: it is possible. What I want you to know that it can happen, and it can happen for you no matter what your circumstances are. So I guess my question over to you, Lori, is what's three mindsets that someone needs to have? And this is the belief that you need to have, because it starts here, that you can have more time and it is possible. What would you say to that person?
First and foremost, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Unless you're truly attempting to build a rocket, it's not rocket science. And believe it or not, Shay, I've actually witnessed that phrase reduce the overwhelm, reduce the frustration, reduce the anxiety that can sometimes be felt with building out a business. Second, there's no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. No matter what it is you do throughout life, no matter how many steps back you have to take, as long as you haven't stopped, as long as you've taken a moment to reflect and figured something out from it, no matter what it is you learned from it, it's feedback. It's not failure. You learned something from it and you could take that and move forward. So
I love it. And what are three steps that someone could do? Let's say we talked about mindset. We're talking about something tangible. You say, hey, look, where you are right now, here are three things you can do to start you on the path. Now, we're going to talk about how they can connect with you, because she has a whole program around, so she can't really do it justice. But she can give you like three ideas that you can walk away with. Now, we're all curious. Maybe it's just me. I might be the only nosy person. They're like, well, Shay, does it have a cup of coffee first thing? Because right on the side of her, we can see right behind you, Shay. She has it right in the picture. She has coffee first. I don't know if that's just a saying, but I will ask her before she gives us three ideas. Why that particular quote behind you and why so prevalent everybody can see it? What does it represent for you?
You know what? It's actually the way I used to start the day, to be honest. I love coffee. I absolutely love the taste of coffee. So whether it's caffeinated or not, I happen to be a coffee drinker. Now, I like tea. I enjoy tea, but I'm just a coffee head. That represents nothing other than me being a coffee head. That's it. That's
Oh,
it.
okay. I
Has
thought it
nothing
was
to do
like
with the
get
start
your
of the
shot of
day.
coffee in the morning, get going.
No, no, it's
Okay.
cute. I liked it. That's how certain things get into my house. They're small, they're pretty, they're pink, and my husband's not there when I'm buying it. That's it, Shay. That's it.
I love it.
So, why don't we go with four things that people can go ahead and do to start saving
Fantastic. Let's do
themselves
it.
more time? We're going to start with the 4D strategy. It's a strategy that I've found can save people massive amounts of time when they just go ahead and start implementing the thought process, as you mentioned, which this is the third one, but also the way that there's four pieces that they can implement today. So, the 4D strategy stands for delete, delegate, delay, and dominate. And dominate is standing for streamlining, batch processing, and blocking out your time. So delete, you're going to go through your schedule. You're going to figure out what does not need to be there to accomplish your goal, and you're getting rid of it, whatever it is. Delay is obviously scheduling it out, whether it be for this week, next month, or next year. If it's something that doesn't need to be done immediately, you don't need to be doing it. So you need to delay it and put it on a calendar of some sort. And that's down to things as simple as checking email and your social media tasks. You don't need to be doing them all day. And if you set specific times to accomplish those things, not only will your network begin to recognize and appreciate that, but you yourself are reclaiming the rest of the day that you would be sitting around scrolling, checking in, or worrying about pieces of that sort. Delegating pieces in your schedule that need to be accomplished, but not by you. And that doesn't necessarily mean a team member because there are multiple entrepreneurs across the board who don't have team members and can't afford team members yet. But there are many, many tools, as we've discussed, Shay, out there that can help you accomplish different goals. So figure out what those tasks are, delegate them out to some sort of team, tool, or tech. Then, last but not least, is dominate. And that means really streamlining those pieces that you personally need to handle in order to accomplish your goal. So, really making sure to block out the time for it, making sure to really batch process anything that you're attempting to accomplish during that period, and really making sure to streamline the way in which you're maneuvering through the task itself. So, 4D strategy: delete, delegate, delay, and dominate.
I love it. She has a methodology. She has a strategy. She didn't say you need any software to be able to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that kind of cool? So you can implement the 3Ds, 4Ds right now. She gave us a bonus. I like that. And she did it in the amount of time that she had. I love it, by the way. You know, it's so amazing. You know, Lori, we have a segment here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks who are tuning in right now, you tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what we're about to do. You can go ahead and say those magical words. Today is my January 1st. And for all the new folks out there, they're tuning in for the very first time. Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st. It's our personal mantra. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is or how bright and sunny that past is, the past no longer equals the future. And so my question for Lori on the other side is two parts. Number one, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And number two, what was another setback, a challenge you had in your life, and how did you bounce back from it? Is your January 1st?
So I would say that my January 1st was definitely mid-pandemic. So that was a point where I think personally I had anticipated accomplishing more throughout my journey than I had at that point. And I knew that there were different things that I hadn't taken the time to prioritize personally. Um, and so during the pandemic, as we all had, we had the time to take that step back. We had the opportunity to really think through different things. And so for me, that was the January one. I was, prior to that moment, believe it or not, Shay, beyond petrified of being in front of any camera at all. So my show was strictly an audio podcast. And it
Wow.
wasn't until mid-pandemic that I actually turned it into a video podcast and a television show. So that is me overcoming my own anxiety and fears and actually kind of fulfilling my own desire to one day be on screen too. So there you go.
And look at you now, ladies and gentlemen. Look at her now. Does she look good or what? Is she confident or what on the other side? Yes. See, it is
Thank you.
possible.
Mhm.
One of the questions I love to ask is, what's one of the best pieces of advice that you've ever been given? And I'll frame it for the audience so they understand you're not going to come down from the mountain with 10 commandments or anything here. But you've read so many books on your journey of life. You have certainly probably listened to more videos than you'll probably ever remember, by the way. But if you had to reach out and just say, wow, here's one piece of advice that I was given to me that I'm going to pass on to the audiences to help their life be better, what would it be and why?
Definitely. And that's actually an easy one. So I thank you for asking that. So, years ago, when I was starting off the podcast, I happened to be fortunate enough to have an opportunity to speak with the late Sean Stevenson. And when I was talking to Sean, we were talking about, the struggles of living day to day with chronic illnesses and how it is he was maneuvering through the day with the bright energy that he always had. And he told me that he had a list of 13 items, and as long as he was able to accomplish four of those pieces out of the 13 throughout the day, no matter how big or small, some of them were as simple as brushing his teeth by himself. As long as he accomplished four out of the 13 things on his list of priorities to make his day positive, productive, and happy, he had had a positive, productive, and happy day. And that was something that I rapidly adopted and have since built out a piece of my program to kind of honor Sean in that manner. And that is the PRISM method, which is one of the first pieces of the program, the mindset transformation piece. It's a part of the program that truly helps people figure out those 13 things, figure out what they look like, figure out what they are to help you master your day, know what it is that drives you, know what it is that's going to help to drive you and maneuver you forward.
Ah, well said, by the way. Well said. What do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world, helping them have more time to do the things they want to do? What do you do for fun these days?
Oh goodness. So many things, Shay. That is such a list. If it is, from traveling to taking walks to reading to watching YouTubes to listening to podcasts myself to, I mean, spending time with family and friends. There are a million different things. I enjoy language learning.
I'm not
I'm all over
surprised.
the map, Shay. Yeah, I'm all over
What's
the map.
what, what's one of your favorite places to travel to? What's one of your favorite places you like to travel to? You
Ah,
mentioned travel. What's one place? We're all curious now. You can't leave us hanging and say travel. Everybody say where? Where does she like to go, Shay?
you know what? I wouldn't say that there's a favorite. I
Okay.
love exploring new places. So that's what we're going to say. I am looking forward to the day when there are return visits to destinations that I am favoring over others. So I've been to a number of places from Barbados to Russia to Mexico to I've been a lot of different places, Shay. So we're
I
not going to
get
go
it.
down the list here today. But, I
I get
haven't
it.
chosen that favorite yet. I'm still waiting to go to the Turks and Caicos. So if you want to talk to my husband about that,
I like that. I like that. Put it
I
on the
have
list.
places I'm planning to go. But
There's lots of
Not a
places to
favorite
go.
just yet.
Well,
Uh,
well, let me ask two questions. We come down the home stretch. Number one, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, if any? I'm not sure if your firm's taking on any clients. And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have now?
Certainly. So they can definitely drop onto my Discord server at any point in time. It's just Small Business with Lori Brooks. And I host Coffee Connections every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. to continue any of these conversations. I also do a free consulting Friday on Discord as well. But the easiest way to go about reaching me is just going direct to my website, which is loribrooks.net, as simple as possible.
Fantastic. Let me say so much. First, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it.
Of course. I thank you so much for having me. I have enjoyed this conversation. It was fun to chat and to be on the other side of this. So much appreciated.
Indeed, it was. And thank you. Thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, there is no show. So we appreciate it. Every time you show up, we appreciate it. And yes, it's pretty cool when you hit the like button, but more important, we really want you to hit the share button. You know, when you can share this message and pay it forward to another entrepreneur or another business owner or someone out there that has a heart to give and a heart to serve, it really goes a long way. So thank you for everyone who's on the platform where you can share this. And I never get tired of sharing with you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, reminding you how incredible you are, that you are a game changer, that you're a world changer, that you're a super special, incredible human being. And no matter what's going on in your life right now, and I believe that today is your January 1st, and because of just that one reason alone, your best is still yet to come. And I'm encouraging your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name hasn't changed. It's still Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you, Lori. We'll see you on the other side. Peace, everybody.
Thank you so much.